So the building process is done, took about an hour, and yeah, there you go. If you ever get a random electric bike sent to you, that's how to install it. Moving swiftly along into the specs, we have a 750 watt brushless motor, a 7-speed Shimano gear shift, hydraulic disc brakes, a 15 amp hour lithium ion battery which is stuffed into the frame of the bike and is massive. You've got dual action front and rear suspension, which is always nice to see, and I really like the style of this bike. The front light works well enough to show people on the road that you exist, and the tail light activates when you hit the brakes, which is always a nice thing to see. Of course, these are your standard 20x4 inch fat tires, and I'm starting to crave some diversity with these electric bikes. The bike is resistant to light rain and dust with an IPX54 rating, and lastly it accommodates riders from 5'2 to 6'4 and has a max weight capacity of 300 pounds, which I wouldn't recommend, and I will get into why a bit later, but for now, how does she handle? See, this bike is certainly not like any of the other electric bikes that I've tested out. On other bikes you have a little control box with different pedal assist modes, but with this bike you have 3, and honestly only one of them is useful. You have Eco mode, which lets you go 17 miles an hour. Once you reach 17 miles an hour, the battery cuts off and stops supplying power to the engine. There's a governor built in stopping you from going faster. You then have Drive mode or Normal mode, which lets you get up to 22 miles an hour, and once you hit that governor kicks in. Then you have Sport mode, which lets you get up to 28 miles an hour, and then that power cuts off. Thing about this is a hard governor. There are no advanced settings menus so you can unlock higher speeds. The battery literally cuts power to the engine when the display reads its top speed for whatever mode you're in, and that is a bit of a shame. When I ride this bike, I just put it in sport mode. This means I can reach 28 miles an hour if I want to, but I can also use the throttle or the pedals to ride anywhere in between 28 and 1. I see no reason to use the Eco or Normal mode, which makes it a very simple bike, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all. It's the only electric bike that I have that genuinely feels like a grab-and-go bike. It's simple, which is kind of refreshing. So we've talked about the modes, so what about the power? This bike is zippy. Its acceleration is impressive to say the least. This bike is genuinely a get-up-and-go kind of bike, and due to that, it can feel a bit jerky with its power delivery. I'll be honest, it's not aggressive. The jerk feels less like the bike's trying to get away from you, and more like it has a lot of power and you should hold on because you're going to have a fun ride. Which makes me wish that they wouldn't have capped the speed limit, or at the very least offered a way to switch that governor off. I'd really like to see what this bike could do given the power it demonstrates. Let's talk about the controls real quick, given that this is such a simple setup. While the bike is on, one click of the power button will turn the headlight and tail light on. Hitting M will change the riding mode from Eco to Drive to Sport. If you hold the power and M button at the same time, it will change from kilometers to miles an hour and back. And then you have the horn, which is particularly loud, and I really like these kinds of horns on these electric bikes. Now one thing you'll notice is the style this bike decided to take. You've got these hyper red suspension coils, the red plastic DYU plate, the burnt orange seat, and the matte gray finish. It's a flashy bike, and I love the way it looks. There are some questionable choices. The handlebars, for example, are kinda strange, but it took me no time flat to get used to them. If I had my way, I would have told them to cancel these plastic plates. The plastic's cheap, and it just looks a bit much on the side. The big red plastic base for the front light is a bit much too, and I wouldn't mind that being black. In fact, I may go ahead and respray some of these and see what it does for it. Apart from that, the bike looks stealth. Of course, you can tell it's an electric bike, but only if you know what these bikes look like. To me, this looks like a regular bike, albeit a particularly flashy one. Now, I mentioned before that this bike is simple, and I want to iterate again how much I like that. You get on, press the power button, you take right off, and even the screen reflects the simplicity of this bike. You have the speed setting, your current speed, a light indicator, and then a battery indicator, and that's it. You don't need an odometer. Who wants to know the voltage or average speed? Honestly, I rarely use that kind of information anyway, and I could see why other people might want it, but this bike isn't for that. It's a jump on, have a blast for a bit bike, and I love how simple it is. They made a simple bike, but its simplicity lends a lot to how fun that makes it. Now, of course, there are always pros and there are always cons. We just exited all the good stuff, so let's move on to the stuff that I personally didn't like very much. Firstly, the seat. Of course I'm narking on the seat. When do I not, right? But the difference with this bike is this banana seat is what you get. You can't add a suspension seat post. You can't change out the seat. This is it, and it's not cutting it. The seat is hard and awkward. You can move forward or back to get into a more comfortable position, but from what I've found, my ass is fatigued no matter what position I end up in. The next con only happened once, and it was in heavy wind, so take this with a grain of salt. See, because the battery is high up on this bike, the center of gravity is also up high. Being that the rider is also sitting high on this bike, that means the bike ends up being top heavy, and at high speeds in windy conditions, this made me feel a bit off balance. Now, I wasn't slipping and sliding all over the road or anything, something just felt off, and when you're cruising at high speeds, you don't want to be feeling that way. I say this because I'm only 150 pounds, so I can imagine a heavier person than myself having even more trouble in these windy conditions. Again, this was one time going as fast as I could in heavy wind, and the only thing that happened was I simply felt off balance, but I would not forgive myself if I recommended this bike and didn't tell you guys about that. In all, this is a great bike. It's fast, it's fun, it's zippy, and I've had a blast riding it. If you're interested in this bike, you can find the link down below in the description. Thank you all so much, and please, ride safe everyone.